Okay, here we go. So this is a little different from what I usually do, I guess. So let's see from thumbnail to video. We're gonna be taking a look at some screenshots I took of some comments from some like WWE related type fails. And what we are gonna do is point out some idiotic WWE fans comments because there are a whole lot of idiotic people out there in the world and specifically aligned with liking WWE. And so when that happens, that really does annoy me. So we're going to be taking a look at it. And I didn't have my usual intro because that would be just for humorous mode, I guess. Anyway, here we go. Time to look at some, might as well call this cancer, but let's look at some idiotic WWE fans. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. First one. So let's read it. So I'm still confused. What's going on here? Where's WWE at? And why is this place so dark? So this was in a live event. So you guys know, and so this one was a video where Kevin Owens, he got into a little tiny argument with a fan because the fan said he sucked, and so Kevin Owens scared the fan by pretending he was going to do something at him or do whatever he was going to do, and then he smart because he scared the fan, stuff like that. So that's what the whole video was about. And so me scrolling down the comments and knowing that I was going to see this ultimately, one of these comments, and so I did, and so this is one of them. Of course, WWE has different shows. They're called live events, also called house shows, and they're not televised. And so I gave a reply. I'm too lazy to take another screenshot to show you guys it, but my reply was essentially saying how, my bad handling one, but basically what I said was that though they they don't just do televised shows, so Raw, SmackDown, NXT, stuff like that, pay-per-view, stuff like that. Those are not the only shows they do, of course. When people say that WWE superstars have a busy schedule, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays are not usually a busy schedule, well, especially when you're traveling, I guess it is, but they, of course, do live events, house shows, almost every day, so, in different places and stuff like that. And so the fact that this perhaps little kid, and that doesn't need no proper grammar, perhaps, and the fact that he doesn't know that, or he or she, or whoever, doesn't know that is very, very concerning, because you should know, because those advertisements that WWE display with, boring pay-per-view title match rematches where a champion always comes out on top because, it means nothing, because it's not televised. So if there is a title change during a non-televised event, of course it will confuse the fans, because there'll be some fans that were there and some fans that weren't there. So of course it does make sense to have a title change at a WWE live event / house show when most people are not watching because it's not televised. Of course, stuff like Warren AJ Styles won the United States Championship from Kevin Owens and the whole MSG thing last year. I guess that just happened for use of happening, I guess. So that was whatever, but it's not really all that important. But anyway, moving on to the next comment, because apparently people don't know nothing about wrestling these days. Here we go. Alright, so here's the next screenshot. This profile name, I really do like. I wish I came up with that profile name, that YouTube channel name, a long time ago, because that's actually, I really do like the name. But anyway, here we go. What is Stockholm? Well, Stockholm, whatever it was. It's in Sweden, so yeah, my bad if I don't know how to say it. Stockholm. I don't know, I can't remember. I haven't said it in a while. It's SmackDown. Well, blah 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 is of course a place, and so when it says live in Stockholm or Stockholm, whatever, I don't know. I'm trying to say it very slowly. I apologize. I suck at this, but it says live and then it says the place. I'm just gonna call it the place now. But it says live and then it says the place. So of course it's a live event, and this is from the same video as well. This was from the same Kevin Owens video. So yeah. So really, then if going back to the other comment saying of how come one of his replies to one of the people who responded to him was then how come I didn't see it or something like that, because the whole live event thing. And so that explains this. Sure, they have live events with the SmackDown or Raw roster, or sometimes they'll be joint branded, and so that's what it necessarily is. And then the fact that you confuse a place that's obviously a place, and if you read the description, it explains that it was in a place, and then you confuse it with a show is actually very, 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 very damn. That's just sad. How do you confuse a place in Sweden with a WWE TV show? Moving on, because once we get to like some wrestler related type ones, that's when it starts getting good, funny, and makes me start wanting to drink bleach, because people are that idiotic. Moving on. Okay, this is gonna be like the third screenshot. So it says here, why Asuka always win if her match is unfair? Total, it's just a script. Can you do a Biggie and Carmella win? I'm not a hater of Asuka, I love her, but why she always win? Please at Royal Rumble make Charlotte or Naomi win. Just my opinion. Thanks, love you, WWE, and 2 kissing emojis. Oh my god, people's grammar. So this was the mixed match challenge where we had like Miz and Asuka versus, of course, obviously, the tag team of Biggie and Carmella during the mixed match challenge. And so I already knew that any YouTube upload video with Asuka is gonna have any comment saying something about Asuka, whether if it's praising her or whether if it's loving her. Same thing, but whether if it's like praising her, like sick of her undefeated streak. But first of all, the grammar here sucks. I'm not sure how old this chick is, but please tell me she's old enough to like know some good grammar, because in that profile pic she looks way older than what perhaps, I don't know, let's just say a very young girl would like not know the proper grammar for, or a person who just probably learned English. So one of those could be the reasons. But needless to say, it's a gimmick. Asuka has a Pacific undefeated gimmick. But anyway, I'm not too mad about that comment. Plus, once we get to the replies, and once we get to like those bandwagon WWE type fans, like they act like a bandwagon for like I don't know, wrestlers like AJ Styles. They'd be like, "Oh, I knew AJ Styles ever since he was in I don't know." And then like once you say like Ring of Honor, TNA, which is probably the most memorable one, New Japan Pro Wrestling, etc., and some other independent wrestling promotions that are not all that important, but like then, or like Shinsuke Nakamura, Finn Balor, and Asuka herself, and then they act like, oh, I support them, I've been knowing so much about them, and then they just completely forget the name of their finisher, which to be fair is very relatable, because I know a whole lot of little kids who are like, well, like my friends, little brothers, I guess, that don't know nothing about wrestling. Anyway, moving on to the replies. Okay, I'm just gonna let this slowly go down, I guess. But it says, have you ever seen her at New Japan Pro Wrestling? She has more move and more strength. She lost, but when Raw Women's Championship first of all, grammar. And so I love how this person is trying to specifically act smart, and says, have you ever seen her at New Japan Pro Wrestling? First of all, I believe New Japan Pro Wrestling doesn't have a women's roster, so if you're trying to imply that you've been known about Asuka since the New Japan Pro Wrestling days, and if you just want to jump on like the Finn Balor, knowing the Shinsuke Nakamura, the AJ Styles, or the, oh, I know so much about Bullet Club, I know how Luke Gallows, Carlson, AJ Styles, and Finn Balor are friends, I know so much about the club, and then they want you to know that the real name is Bullet Club if you want to bring it back to its origin in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And so this comment saying, have you ever seen her at NJPW, aka New Japan Pro Wrestling? And then the grammar completely sucks for this. And then New Japan Pro Wrestling doesn't have a women's roster. There are many separate Japan wrestling promotions that are specifically for women, saying that New Japan Pro Wrestling is only specifically for men. So I don't know what you're trying to imply there, but if this comment is trying to imply that like they're trying to say of how, or like they're trying to bring up how they know more about than this chick about wrestling or something like that, or at least about Asuka specifically, well then you don't, or you're trying to support your claim doesn't help out much, because Asuka was never in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I believe there was like a mixed tag match or like something like that where Minoru Suzuki completely demolished her with like slaps and German suplexes, I believe. But I think that was different. Japan promotion, but that's out of the topic. But yeah, New Japan Pro does have a women's roster. There are many other different promotions with women's roster, but not in Japan. And well, I just want to quickly say of how I'm sorry of how lengthy this video is, but also I love the replies saying of how to the chick. This is a different account. While they're both purple icons, it's two different account names, but this one, Steven whatever, says you're stupid, and so he simply says it like that, and so short, sweet, and simple, to the point. I like it. More replies to the specific comment. Okay, so here are the replies, and then this chick replies to Steven saying, "I'm not stupid. I'm just telling the truth. Duh." So how are you not stupid? Because you said in your Vine, this is out the Asuka thing, but you're saying in your comment after the Asuka thing of how you either want Charlotte or Naomi to win. So let me get straight. Naomi is an accurate prediction. I believe many people predicted her, perhaps. But the Charlotte one, how is that possible? Since she at the time and currently is the SmackDown Live Women's Champion, and so why would she be in the Rumble first of all? Because if you clearly don't know nothing about wrestling, then don't be making assumptions of who your predictions are going to be. The Naomi one is accurate because, it's one she's going to actually be in the Rumble. But then Alexa Bliss is the Raw Women's Champion. Charlotte's the SmackDown Women's Champion. Why would Charlotte be there? Why? Because then you just think that the Raw titles are just important. That really does not make sense. And then after that, we got Harambe over there, who's been dead for a while now. And so everyone trying to just pretend, acting all sad for Harambe, or Harambe, whatever way you want to say it. There's many ways. Many people say it that. Well, at least I know of. And so, well, comment easily explains everything, and especially those emojis. Those emojis explain exactly what he's probably thinking he could do to the chick behind the phone, the tablet, the computer, whatever, that posted this comment. And so the one thing I'm hoping here for the comment that just replied to the chick saying of how she's mad cute and stuff, and then those emojis are too extra. They're extra. I'm just hoping that whoever did that is not like let's just say, let's just hope that they're not like one of those perverted virgins, I guess, because I just hate those type of comments, especially since those are creepy. So yeah. Anyway, next comment. I'm sorry that this is taking forever. I do talk a lot, but that's because I just need to get a whole lot of things out, because I've really been mad about this for a while. So I've been mad about this ever since the first IDIOTIC WWE comment I saw ever. Anyway, next comment. Here we go. And so this one was for the one of those Todio ones where it says, where it has like little tiny clips. And so this one's for the Big Cass and Carmella moving in, I guess. No, not I guess. It was for that video. And so this comment says, thought they broke up, and then I just gotta show the reply here and say, this is pre-recorded. Yes, because if the guy said thought they broke up, and the ones, the 116 people, and counting perhaps, that liked that comment, who agreed with this person, do you not know how reality TV necessarily works, although it's not really reality TV, since sometimes they're given a script to work by just for added in and specifics of some added in drama, I guess, for like specific events and stuff. So of course it's not really reality TV, because they're still acting either way for some parts, I guess. But if you don't know how reality TV works, if you even want to call it reality TV, I guess, but essentially it's like pre-recorded, like I think 6 months before everything else happens. And I wanted to also add in a screenshot of a comment for like some SummerSlam stuff where like had the thing with Naomi and Natalia, and one of those AI comments said, "Oh, SummerSlam was today," and so those are one of those AI comments, but I just didn't want to put that one in because I didn't want to search for the video, so I was lazy for that. But yeah, people are dumb. Moving on. Okay, and so this was another one of those comments, and this was for the same video as the last comment. And so it's saying, what's up with Big Cass leg? Why does no one know how to do some proper goddamn English? It's like there's only two types of people you could do that could like act like this. Well, at least to these kind of comments. Either you're a little kid and your profile pics show that you're not a little kid. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. Or just that you're learning how to speak English and you're just not doing a very good job at it, and your knowledge for the day sucks. Either way, but of course, if you actually bother to pay attention to what the hell you're watching on TV, you will know that Big Cass clearly injured his leg in his match against Enzo Amore, like late last year. Was it late last year? Wasn't it? No, yes, it was during summer, so it was like what, the first episode of Raw after SummerSlam, I think. And so when he was going for the, what was the name of the elbow drop again? The East River Crossing? Or is that the name of one of his arm moves? I'm not sure. But and then once he went for that, it was like it didn't look scripted because it wasn't scripted. And so he fell down to the ground, holding onto his knee. And so once referees do X symbols in matches, during matches, that actually means an injury is legitimate. And ironically enough, I learned that 3 or 4 weeks ago, before the Big Cass injury actually happened. And so that helped me out to immediately call it. And so that's essentially what happened with Cass. His leg got injured. And if you are actually bothered to watch wrestling and are bothered to actually pay attention, you would know that that's what happened. You're welcome. Moving on to the next goddamn comment. Okay, it's stuff like these that makes me completely happy. And look, this is specifically one comment. This was for now in the description it says of how you see CM Punk there. So in the description it says of how this was a fan made thing where it edits everything to make it look like CM Punk returned in the 2018 Royal Rumble match. Of course, he obviously didn't. There was only Rey Mysterio, the Hurricane. And was it anyone else besides Mysterio and Hurricane? I can't remember anymore. But that's what happened, I guess. And so he made it look like CM Punk returned in 2018 Royal Rumble, but in the description he said this is fan made, so of course it's not real. And then his comment says fake. So there are many more comments saying that this is fake. I specifically wanted to pick one, and this ridiculous profile pic and everything. I love how it's mostly the meme lovers and the people with names that aren't even written in proper English that don't know nothing about wrestling. As stereotypical as that sounds, I am sorry that it sound messed up, but it really is just true. You can't really face facts because I really am sounding very obnoxious here, and I'm sorry for that, but it kind of is true if you do notice it. It's a statistical amount of names that are not written in proper English, and people who just mostly memes. So those breed little kids and stuff. Well, of course it's fake. It's a concept. Well, not concept, because a concept would be for a game and stuff. But it's fan made. It says that in the description. Read the description. That'll help you out. And you probably have to read more as well, because who puts fakest ever like that? Because I'm pretty sure there's some more faker videos that are actually proper clickbait. Unlike this one. Okay, now for this one, this was for one of those concept videos where it was a custom WWE 2K18 trailer where it had AJ Styles and cover stuff like that. And I didn't bother to actually fully edit the screenshot out, but here we go. This one says Braun Strowman is covered, LOL. I'm not even sure if he knows what the hell LOL means, because it means lots of laughs. And I swear if he's not using it in the proper context, because he doesn't even know how to spell Braun, he spelled Brown. Please tell me that was one of those dumb autocorrects and he or she never noticed. But it's spelled Braun Strowman, and then after that we also got the account under that other account that said Brown Strowman. Heard how that is, because it's Braun Strowman, but then we have the account that says I'm back. Guess what? No one cares at all. And then don't even get me started on the very bottom one. And so also, the very bottom, this one says sucks, and this kid has a, I'm guessing it's a kid, and has whole Deadpool profile pic. Probably doesn't even know absolutely nothing about Deadpool. Probably doesn't even know its name. Probably doesn't even know if he could fully regenerate or none of that. It says sucks. You probably can't even get actual footage of the actual goddamn game, nor do you know how properly perhaps even use Photoshop to actually, or any other photo editing software, to actually help out and create a custom cover for the game itself. And so you really should be talking, and it's going back to that ridiculous Braun Strowman comment. Oh man, but anyway, let's check that guy's subscriptions, the Deadpool lover. Let's check his subscriptions, shall we? Okay, let's see. Okay, useless 2-year-old video about the Raw Dawson's episode. Okay. I'm subscribed to a Special Ninja. I actually legitimately am, so okay, that's impressive. Let's see. Macho T, I'm subbed to him for his WWE 2K18 news. So that's that. Okay. Oh god. Oh god damn. I want to curse so badly. That explains everything. Logan Paul vlogs. I knew it. I had fun feeling it was gonna either be Logan or Jake Paul. And so we got Logan Paul. I'm not gonna even bother to go to more because it's probably gonna be Jake Paul as well. But Logan Paul, no surprise. Kids who go for the more popular, non-role model type YouTubers usually don't know nothing about common knowledge or sense, and so that subscription explains everything. But I guess you watch YouTubers that you watch, so whatever. Suicide. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so finally, this is gonna be the last comment, and now this wasn't our comment. So it says Dota 2K15. No, it's fake. It is 2K15. See up at 41 seconds. Hey, at least he knew how to do a link to the 41-second mark, because there's people that usually just puts a period between the 0 and the other numbers. Applaud this person on that. And then the other comment right there, it says it's fake. Yeah, of course it is, because do you not know what the hell a goddamn concept or notion is? A concept and a notion equals custom. This was a custom concept and notion for WWE 2K15. This was a separate WWE 2K18 video, my bad. This was a separate one, and it had some 2K15 gameplay for the most part. And so the fact that people think that this real, and even in the beginning of the video it says, the guy who created this says it's a concept. He bolds it out and says it's a concept. Do any of you waste of air for WWE fans, or just for wrestling fans in general, know what the hell a concept or notion is? It's custom. It's not real. It's supposed to be used as something that, their wish list, what they would like to see from, or it's dumb, creating somewhat their own video game for the most part with using already created game, but doing something to create some that's their own and that they'll enjoy, and that I don't know, it's just custom, so it's to show their artistic flow, I guess. So yeah, and the fact that two, the first and then the third comment was once again those names that are hard to pronounce, just shows of how some people specifically don't know all much about wrestling. Or do they? And so of how there are some idiotic. You can find any idiotic comment in any video, but it's for the WWE smarks that try to act oh, you can't cheer for heels, because then when you try to act like you care for the heels, they're gonna own you and stuff like that. I wanted to put another comment on that video, but on another video of that, but now we already did too many screenshots for this, so yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I guess this was complete and utterly hell for me to do, because I have to revisit all these comments all over again. I'm deleting all these screenshots shortly after. I'll be able to export this to my library, and then after that I will soon upload this. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. There are some WWE fans who are not idiots, and then there are some who are in between. And by in between, I just mean there are some who are regular like know a bit and like understand some, I guess. And then there are others like the comments we just read that don't know nothing about simper, that's not a word. Well, simple grammar. So yeah. Anyway, goodbye. I'm going to drink bleach and bleach out my eyeballs after this because bleach is better than Tide Pods, so that works out well. I'm kidding, but I wish I could do that without dying. Yeah. Anyway, goodbye.